Hello, Conversations with Ronnie Keith podcast fam. This is John, aka Big Time, 33.3% of the Short Desk podcast, inviting you to join myself, Dwayne, and Ronnie Keith every Tuesday as we sit around our short desk and discuss all things in news, sports, entertainment, and a little financial advice. Check out episode 178 as it is a reboot of the show and we discuss our vacation week amongst other things. You're listening to Conversations with Ronnie Keith.
Thank you. Welcome back to Conversations with Ronnie Keith
and Iris.
Edie.
Iris.
We are back this week. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate all of the text messages, all of the DMs, all of the fan mails for the
appreciate
episode.
All the love.
Yes, we did get a fan mail from last week, and it stated, this is out of Orlando, Florida. It said, awesome episode. I'm really glad I was able to hear Kenneth's story. Please bring him back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll definitely have
Kenny's story was it was so wonderful.
Yeah. We'll definitely have him back.
I loved it.
In the near future. So please be on the lookout for that because there's another part of his story that needs to be told.
Yeah.
So you haven't been here with me for a couple of weeks.
I know.
How have you been doing?
Me. I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know. You know what? We've been very busy because of the holidays lately.
No.
It's like we have like something going on every day, every weekend. It's just like, what?
Yes.
It's a lot going on for sure. Like I would say 50% done decorating inside the house, and I have to start deep cleaning before Christmas Eve, or Noche Buena, how we say it in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And we still haven't put out the decorations outside, sir.
Well, I'm going to do that in a couple of days.
When? Mira caramba.
Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very, very busy.
It has. It really has.
Going on, and
work too has been kind of insane.
Yes, work has been insane. Your aunt and uncle had an anniversary party last weekend.
Let's talk about that a little bit, un poquito.
Okay, we will. And then after that, we'll get your fan mail for us. So your aunt and uncle had their 40th anniversary party.
Yeah.
It's actually at a nice little place. There's a restaurant on the bottom, and there's a
very nice
ballroom.
A
hall upstairs. Yeah.
No. It was a hall, a banquet hall. Yeah, it was very nice.
And, of course, one thing that I forgot, I was actually supposed to record my other podcast, the Short Desk Podcast. And so I extended it a little bit. I said, hey, guys, I'll probably be home by 9 o'clock to record. And everybody was okay with that. Well, I totally forgot that Spanish people also
we're the same.
They're on colored people time. They are colored, so they're on colored people time. And I totally forgot. And so everything was supposed to start at 4 o'clock.
And we got there late at 4:30.
And
it didn't start till 6:30.
Almost 7, really.
That's Latino time for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it was wonderful. It was a lot of hors d'oeuvres. Let me tell you something about
it. Was Spanish Latino hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. Let me tell you something about Spanish folk. They
Tell
will
them.
Carb your behind to death. Everything is a carb, okay? The hors d'oeuvres was nothing but carbs. They had pan sobado.
It's the only way to do it.
Sweetbread sandwiches. And then they had pan sobado with cheese sauce on it. Then they had these meatballs, but the meatballs had to be in a puff pastry. Then they had these crackers with
Remember
cheese.
They had soup too?
They had
two different kind of soups, and they were like super creamy and fattening type soup.
Yeah, and then one of the soups was plantain soup, right?
Yeah, plátano soup, and then the other one was like a yuca with cheese.
Then
it was delicious, guys. Come on.
It was very good. Then you get to the main event, right? The dinner. Nothing but carbs. They've got Puerto Rican Chinese fried rice.
Yeah.
If there's ever such a thing, right?
There is.
How is it Puerto Rican Chinese?
Sometimes Chinese. We put, I do have to say that Chinese food in Puerto Rico is very, very different. It's very good. And sometimes they put totones inside of it. They put fried plantains inside of it.
Okay.
So it is very flavorful. It is like some people are like, well, no, that's what people say about New York Chinese food. No, Puerto Rico pizza and Chinese food is amazing.
Okay.
Very different.
Okay, I got you. Well, they had the Chinese Puerto Rican
Yeah.
fried rice. Then they had
Arroz con gandules.
right next to that. Then they had yuca. Then they had plantains.
Yeah.
Then they had elbow macaroni
Oh,
salad.
it was pretty good.
And I'm like, man, how many carbs can you
Chicken,
have on one
pork.
in one display? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of stuff.
Y'all just a carb.
Oh, and that's
carb,
nothing.
Pork eating people.
They had sangria. They had coquito, which
Yes.
was amazing. Hey, I have a confession to make. I haven't even drank one little bit of that coquito bottle in there.
Oh, you haven't?
I have not.
Oh,
You've been drinking it all. Yes,
It's
sir.
been going down a lot.
Yeah, because of you.
I don't think so. I think you've had a
Yeah. Yeah, but I do make a mean coquito.
You didn't make that one though. Your aunt did.
That's okay. She told me just one extra little thing, keep secret there to add to the coquito recipe that I'm going to make.
Okay. All right. But it was a very good event. We had a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, a lot of music, took pictures, videos,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that.
You got down, even the DJ. We knew the DJ too.
Yeah.
It's a small world. He gave you a shout out and
Yes.
to me too. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We went to high school. He graduated with me in high school, actually. And
Come on, Keith, get down. And then he's like, come on, Iris, I see you.
right. So it's
It was very nice. I was very shocked. I was not expecting for the party to be so fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. Had a real.
It was formal too, and we got to dress up very pretty and stuff. So very nice.
Yes, it was. So had a real good time with that. And, you know, as you stated earlier, this is the holiday time.
Yeah, busy.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we actually have a question from our fan mail regarding that.
tell
But
me.
before we get to that, so it was you had a great time at the party.
Yes, I did. We've been very busy.
Okay. What about food? I noticed that there wasn't any empanadas there. What happened with that?
Well,
There
I don't
was
know
no
what happened.
Mofongo. Well, they don't usually do mofongo at
No,
parties.
there was no pernil, if I should
I
say.
thought it was Pete. Oh, wasn't that
Was
pork?
it? Oh, no, there was. It was. I'm sorry.
just
There was
didn't have,
just
like-
chicken and pernil.
I didn't see the crispy skin. On it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's what I
So
was-
maybe the pork shoulder didn't have a crispy skin. You know, it all depends on the piece that you get.
Yeah. Well, I think all pieces should. In
The food was good. It was good. It was okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the appetizers a lot more. They were very creatively done. I like that, and they were Latino.
Yeah.
Like you could just tell it was a Latino environment. Like we just do things a little bit differently. Our hors d'oeuvres are different. Our food option is different. Drinks were different. It was just
Because it's
nice.
full of carbs.
It's full of carbs. We love carbs.
That's all it is. It's rice.
That's why we've got bootylicious going on.
Rice, bread,
Carbs.
bread, rice. That's all it is, y'all. And
It
some
was
pork.
delicious.
They Puerto Ricans love Spanish folk. Period. Love pork. They gonna
Oh, I
eat some
don't.
pork.
I don't do pork like that.
I know you don't, but everybody eat pork.
I do eat bacon, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Once in a blue.
Okay. All right. Well, we did get a fan mail. This one here says that it comes from Kansas. And it says, this was from a couple of weeks ago.
Kansas. We got people in Kansas?
Yes, we do.
Oh my God.
And the fan mail states, hello, Ronnie, Keith, and Iris. I wanted to know, what do you guys do for the holiday time? Is there any specific traditions, or do you guys just go with the flow?
Great question. Thank you for the love.
So I'll let you go with this. Oh, you want me to go? I'll go. Okay, so for the holiday time, I don't know if you're referencing Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
I think we should just
specifically
throw it in there. Why not?
because it's the time
It's
of the year.
holidays.
Yeah, so maybe because it's the time of the year. So
No Halloween on that?
no.
Oh,
that's
man.
not a holiday.
For me, it is.
It isn't.
It is.
It is not.
It is.
It's just a day. Listen,
Nope.
for Thanksgiving, so my family, it's been always, the traditional Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We always got together, whether it was, at my grandmother's house. Well, generally, no. When my grandmother was alive in Tallahassee, usually she would come down here for Thanksgiving time. Her two children, which are my mom and my aunt, they live here. And we would alternate between my mom's house and my aunt's house for Thanksgiving time. But everybody would be together.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, one year, about 6 or 7 years ago, we did actually a family reunion down here.
Yes.
For Thanksgiving. But our Thanksgiving
Very, very nice.
Have always been very traditional. Nothing out of the ordinary. There was one year, I'll never forget. This was during COVID time, out of all times. This was a couple of years ago.
COVID-19.
We actually did not have a traditional Thanksgiving.
We did not. We dabbled into other creative things.
We went to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Which
Say
was
it.
very
Fogo de Chao.
No, it was Texas Day Brazil.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Fogo de Chao was for Mama's birthday.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It was
right.
Texas
We
Day
have
Brazil.
pictures to prove that too.
Right. And to be honest with you,
It was
guys,
delicious.
Not only was it delicious, but it was such a relaxing, stress-free
for all of us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to relax. We ate. And then after we ate, I think we went to the movies because the movie theaters were across the street.
Yeah.
And my mom went home. Like, she didn't have to cook, really.
It was nice. It was just like, she even was shocked. I remember Mama was like, I woke up and I was like, I guess I don't have to cook. I was like, you sure don't.
Or remember you talked to her when we came out the movies and she was in the bed, like eating ice cream, watching TV.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, and when I met my wife, we slowly, excuse me, of course, started incorporating while we were dating.
Yeah.
While we were dating, we would split time. We were living together, so we would have a little dinner, and your parents would come over for that, and then we would go over to my family's house and do it. As we got married, everyone started having dinner together. Our family, my family. So every year we
incorporated them both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very nicely. Where everybody gets together now.
Yes, everybody gets together.
Well, after we bought the house in 2020, this was Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. It's been Christmas Eve for some time, but we started to do different things for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did the last
we hosted
2 years.
them. Yeah.
We haven't had Thanksgiving.
Correct.
Here. Last year was a little difficult. We had just lost my dad about 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And so
that was tough.
It was very tough because, like I said, we had Thanksgiving here. So very, very difficult time, but it was like a blur. You know what I mean? Because he had passed away on the 8th, and then we buried him like a week before Thanksgiving. So it was just like a blur. And we had Thanksgiving out to my aunt's house, and she lives very far out. And tragedy almost struck again as the night went on. We had a great time, very, very nice time. Like I said, we were still it was just a blur. It wasn't, it wasn't like we were, I can say, we weren't disengaged.
You were there, but you weren't.
Well, I think we were more there this year than we were last year for some.
Well, of course.
I'm sorry. We were more there last year than we were this year because I think it happened so fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like boom, 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 boom. But then as the night went on, my in-laws left my aunt's house, and as soon as they pulled out of her property onto the main road, a young lady was driving and crashed in the back of them.
Yeah, it was so scary.
Yes, and it wasn't...
Basically, the whole backside of the car was gone.
Well, it was totaled.
Yeah, that was how bad it was. Yeah. Thank God my mom and my dad were in the front.
Thank God no one was back.
Nobody was back there because I feel like, God forbid, who knows what would have happened to the person that would have been in the back seat. And I forgot. I think I vaguely remember. I was like, we were kidding around. No, Mom, I'm going to go with you or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Isaac was like, you sure you don't want to leave with Grandma and Papa? And he was like, oh, no, Mom, I'm okay. Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
Right.
That was God protecting us,
Yes.
But yeah, it was pretty tragic. It could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was bad because my father-in-law agreed to ride in an ambulance to the hospital. So it was a very bad accident, but thank God they came out on the better side of it. But that happened like that night. So again, this year was at my mom's house. We all got together. We had a good time. Again,
Oh, it was wonderful at your mom's house.
yeah, I just think that
I loved it.
it was a lot. I think this year we were able to we like process that he wasn't here this year. So I think that speaking for me, and I know for my sister, my mom, we were kind of mentally drained that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot, but we had a great time. We were around family. It was just a lot. But our Thanksgivings are pretty somewhat traditional. Next year, though, it will be different because we are planning to do a cruise.
Yes.
Our favorite thing to do. So we're planning to
So
go on a
excited.
Thanksgiving cruise for Thanksgiving.
The whole family, a whole week, and we're going to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Woo woo!
So that's how we do our Thanksgiving. Is there anything you want to add as far as how your Thanksgivings were before we met?
Absolutely. Well, as many of you guys heard in earlier episodes, we did not have any family here. We did not. We were very lonely, but we did establish friendship with one of my good friends, the childhood friends. Her name is Jessica, and her mom and my mom and her became really good friends. And so they invited us every year to their Thanksgivings in their house, and it was very nice. They're pretty much, our family, and they're like our cousins, so they became family. You know how that goes. So pretty much every year we just got together with them because we did not have family here, and they were just us. And my dad at that time worked in the I was going to say hospital. My God, my dad worked in the airport, and with his previous employer, he barely got any holidays off. As many of you know, the airport doesn't sleep. The airport is 24/7. You travel, you go, you hop off, and it just doesn't shut down for nothing, unless if it's a hurricane coming, which now they started to do that. Before they never did that. But it was just us all the time with them, and that's how we spend Thanksgivings with them. And when I met Keith, we kind of just started doing our own thing. I started going more towards, or leaning more towards being with his family or joining them for their Thanksgiving. And that's when we used to go to your aunt's house a lot. We used to do that back in the day when her husband as well, rest in peace, was here with us. And we used to celebrate, Thanksgiving with her and his side of the family. And that's how it was for such a pretty long time till we finally got our own spot. And I think we hosted the first 3 or 2 Thanksgivings here in our house, along with Christmas Eve. So, but just to...
We also hosted, didn't we host a Thanksgiving at the townhome, or was that Christmas?
That was
Eve?
Christmas Eve.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
We're living in a smaller home setting, but it was nice. And we invited some of our closer friends there to join us and all that good stuff. And we did karaoke. It was pretty cool. But growing up, it was just our friends. We didn't have any family here, like at all, nothing. We're all spread out. Majority of my family is in Puerto Rico. Some of them live in Boston, New York, and some of them also live in Texas. So we were all pretty spread out, and it was just us. So I was kind of like the minority there that, you think that Latino people, which we do, we tend to have bigger, huge families, but it was just like friends that we would go with.
So I'll tell you, that's been somewhat right, because whenever, Latino people have been around before, they always have very
huge
big families. They're partying every week.
Not us.
Or every other week there's a party for something, right? And that was one thing that I was dreading when I started dating my wife many years ago. Oh God, it's gonna be parties.
You got lucky because I was like, I have nobody.
Music. And so I was like, wow, this is different,
Yeah, I
because
was
it's
very
just
lonely.
you guys, yeah.
We were very
just
lonely
you,
for
your
many
brother,
years.
your mom, and your dad. And like you said, your dad, I mean, maybe the first 4 years of our relationship, I barely saw him because he worked so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until he still works a lot, but he has a better job, a better
He has
employer.
a more, what is it, time
Supportive.
management?
Yeah,
and
it's better
supportive. Yeah.
And they give him more time off and things now that he's no longer at the airport. So yeah, so that was different, but I'm sure it was different for you guys. But then you still was able to go over to your best friend's mom's house around people.
Yeah, but it was not the same because they're so crazy.
Understood.
And then my Puerto Rican time. Hey, come at 5:00, and she was still cooking the turkey.
Yeah.
So we really didn't eat sometimes till like 9 or 10, and you kind of like, oh, we kind of grew out of that a little bit,
Right.
So, and then that's when I met you and we started going to your aunt's family's house. And it was different because I was like, wow, this is an early Thanksgiving. I thought that was so weird.
Well, we never really, we did it. Traditionally, our family never really had early Thanksgivings. But with my aunt and my uncle, her husband, they would do it early.
Right.
Some of his family would come out of town and stuff like that. But we were used to later Thanksgivings as well.
Yeah. But hers were like, food was ready at 10, she would say.
Yeah.
Like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even thinking about food at that time. I'm just still trying to wake up.
Absolutely.
Latinos, we don't get started till like Mama this year.
Yeah.
When we went to Mama's house, we came around 6, 7 o'clock. That's how I feel Thanksgiving should be. But I guess everybody's tradition is different. I have celebrated in the past before with even different kinds of cultures and different people. They do have Thanksgiving early in the morning. That's just...
It just depends.
It just depends on whoever you are, whatever floats.
Right. So then Christmas time, and this is going back to our fan mail. So Christmas time, we did the traditional Christmas.
Yeah.
We
You did.
That's what I'm saying. My family before, I met you.
Christmas, boo.
We would do Christmas.
That's a day of rest.
We open up gifts that day. It's a big day. We would do, dinner later on, or sometimes we would do breakfast. Growing up, it was always such a fun time for me because we would always go to my granny's house for Christmas.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
In Tallahassee. So no matter, what was going on, we always went there. And it was funny because Granny always had like this little small, I think it was I don't even think it was a foot, maybe it was a foot big, I don't know. She would have this little Christmas tree, little foot tall
Oh, yeah,
Christmas
you always
tree,
say that, yeah.
and it'd be on this table.
Aw.
And as small as that tree was, it was like a million gifts there. You know what I mean? So it was just always fun to go there, and we would be spread out all through the house, sleeping every which way. My granny had a small house, so it'd be a whole bunch of us there, and just spread out all over the house. And it was just, it was you think about those times when you were a kid. You know what I mean? And the one thing I say is like, you always, as a kid, you always go, oh, I'm ready to grow up, ready to be an adult. And I wish I could go back and say, no, slow down, because once you hit 18, time just flashes before your eyes. And not only do you get older, but you lose loved ones too. And it's like, oh, man, this really sucks. Adulting really sucks, but as a kid, you just never think about all those things, and you have the time of your life. And so we would be there at her house, and most times it would be Christmas, breakfast for Chris. We have a nice hearty breakfast, Christmas Day, spend most of the morning opening gifts and everything. And so that was always a big thing for my family. We were together, and we had a lot of extended family in Tallahassee. So, we would be making the rounds, or people would be coming to Granny's house all day. It was just a very fun-filled, festive, big day, you know.
That's
And
nice.
so it was nice. And then as we got older, it just kind of got pared down a lot because there were no more kids left. I mean, the latest one was Kendra, my sister. You know, she's 10 years behind me, but it wasn't the same because now, you know, my cousins, Fundrita, Tamika, they're older. I'm older. Kendra's the baby. We still had big Christmas, but it was
Right.
it was a lot different. You know, we still would go to Granny's house, but as we got older, now Granny, you know, started coming down here, so it was different at that point. But I can I'll say this: before I met you, it was never. And we'll get into this. We do the Christmas Eve dinners, right? We never really like, oh, we need to do Christmas dinner thing. Like we did do dinner, we would, but it was never a thing. You know, it was a big thing. The big thing was Christmas Day, getting up, you know, seeing what Santa Claus left and opening up the gifts. You know, of course, as a kid. So, but we always did have big gatherings and get-togethers, but it just never really was anything I ever really thought of. Like, oh, we got to have a big Christmas dinner, even as an adult. So that's how my Christmas was before I met you. What was your Christmas like before I met you?
So I'm going to be completely honest. My Christmases were not like that. Like I said, we were very lonely here. And waking up Christmas Day, you know, my parents were, there was only one person working. So it was only one gift for you. It wasn't like you got multiple gifts or anything like that. And to be honest with you, I dreaded it. I did dread it because for one, we were out of school and I felt like school was an escape thing for me. And when the holidays would come, all my friends were like out of Orlando. They were, one of them I remember used to go to Miami. Jessica would go to Puerto Rico to be with her dad. You know, it's just, I'm very, very lonely, you know? So, it wasn't like, oh, I'm so excited for Christmas. We're going to get together. Yes, we would go to Yvette's house sometimes, but it wasn't the same, you know, but we were very lonely. And I remember when like Christmas break used to come, you know how you get like 2 weeks off or something like that. I was like, oh, I don't want to, you know, because they were so boring and there was really nothing to do. Again, we didn't have family here.
Right.
But then eventually as I got older too, I tried to do things with Isaac in Christmas time and be around family and all that stuff at that time when he was younger. And that was nice. But I don't think I really started enjoying or saying, oh man, I love Christmases till I got older. With you, I would say, especially when you, like me, when I became a mom, I was like, I got to try to make these Christmases somehow.
Yeah.
So my mom started doing like Christmas dinners at her house, or I would say Christmas Eve dinners, because we don't do Christmas Day. I mean, we do celebrate Christmas Day, don't get me wrong, but Christmas Eve, Noche Buena for us is like when you celebrate it. And basically Christmas Day, it's like a day of rest. You basically just sit in your pajamas, enjoy the leftovers. It's like the day after Thanksgiving, you know, so we love that. So my mom started doing that a lot more, and you and I got together and we started doing Christmas. You would say, oh, really? You actually chill on Christmas Eve? I was like, yeah, you should join us. So we did that for some time. And you said, well, my mom cooks dinner on Christmas Day. And that's how it first started. And we would come with Isaac. At that time, I had shared custody with Isaac, which sucked because some years it would be my turn and then we will alternate. Some years I didn't have him. So that would be very dreadful.
Yeah.
So, but we made the best of it. And I remember when we first started getting together, one of my greatest memories now is like you telling Mama, you were telling Mama, well, we celebrate Christmas. What did you tell her again? How was that conversation? I was dying laughing.
I said, hey.
And she was not having
they
it.
Do, you know, my girlfriend at the time, they do Christmas Eve.
Yeah, this
dinner.
was like when we were like 2 years together or maybe a year. I forgot.
Yeah.
We were just like dating.
And she was like, what? Because a lot of time during the first year, I think we did. I remember I went with you to Yvette's house.
Yes.
Or maybe it was
My mom's
Lydia's.
friend's house.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then,
But they were not like crazy.
Eve,
They were
right,
not like,
right.
there was a whole bunch of presents for us. Again, my brother and I were not fans of Christmas.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So then when you know, you knew that we did Christmas dinner, so we would come over for Christmas dinner. And then I told my mom, hey, you know, my wife's going to cook Christmas Eve dinner.
Well, no, your girlfriend.
Yes, my
Hello, your
I'm
girlfriend. Hello.
Sorry. And she's like, what? Christmas Eve dinner?
I ain't doing that. What did she say?
I ain't doing
I'm
all
not
that.
coming
I
over
gotta
there.
cook for Christmas. So
I heard her. I ain't coming over there. I was like, wow, she's pretty hardcore.
yes. And so then finally she, you know, would come and enjoy it. And she would still, you know, I'm cooking Christmas dinner, right? Mm-hmm. Which again, it was something that we were used to.
Yeah, yeah.
So we still would open up gifts with Isaac on Christmas Day.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, we
It wouldn't
did.
be a Christmas Eve thing. But then, like I said, we started incorporating, we would do dinner at our house Christmas Eve and do dinner at
So I think that's how it started. I don't mean to cut you off. We started doing Christmas Eve dinner at our house, and Mama will still do her thing on Christmas Day.
Yes, and we were.
That's how it would be, because on those holidays that we had Isaac, you know, we would basically open the gifts and then spend time with Mama and Pops over there at the house and all that good stuff.
Right.
But that's how they were for the longest time.
For the longest time. And
Yeah.
then
And that was fine. I
ironically-
love that. That actually got my spirits up, you know, a lot.
And ironically, it was Pops who I always make the joke with him that he's a Jehovah's Witness when it comes to Christmas and stuff, because he didn't like, you know, he was there, but whatever. But he started saying that, hey,
When did that change?
I think that changed when Isaac was in
Middle school?
7th grade? Or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
we were in the
6th grade.
townhome.
We were in a townhome. And they just started, they didn't do Christmas dinner. They just started coming to us for Christmas Eve.
Because I would ask Mama, so what are you doing tomorrow? What are you cooking? You know, she was like, I'm just resting.
Yeah.
I was like, you are?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yes. And Pops was like, your mom don't need to cook, man. Don't need to cook all this. You know, y'all, we cook on Christmas Eve because
So
Mama
they
would bring
slowly,
stuff.
but
Yes.
that was a process.
It was a process.
It was a
Because
process.
we were used to doing
Oh
it
my
that
God,
way.
that's so funny.
But then, you know, Pops would say, it don't make no sense. We need to just rest on Christmas. He would be off. You know, everybody would be off. And so my mom looked at it like, yeah, this is a lot better. We open up the gifts on Christmas and just rest. Or
I wish she was here so she could tell her side, because
Yes.
I remember when you were talking to her, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Mama J, but I remember Keith had called you. He had you on speakerphone, and you were like, I'm not celebrating that on Christmas Eve. I do Christmas Day. Like, she was very vocal
Very
and
adamant about it.
against it.
Yes.
I was like, wow, oh my,
Yes.
okay. So we just kept it the same way throughout, and I was okay with that because I felt like, wow, see me, I'm the Puerto Rican mind. I was like, so I get to eat like Christmas Eve, and then I get to eat again Christmas Day,
Yeah.
soul food and yummy food. I loved it. So I remember everybody started incorporating Christmas Eve, Noche Buena, a lot more now. And I remember, I think it was not this year, but the last year, we were like, we got a lot going on with work. We were like, hey, let's just switch it to Christmas Day. And you were like, yeah, I'll just let mom
was
and
2
dad.
years ago.
2 years ago. I was like, can you just let mama and pops know? Let's just wait for Christmas Day. It's just better.
And I remember I called
And
Pops.
I called my mom and I was like, hey, we're going to switch it for Christmas Day. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, mom, we just got a lot going on.
Yeah, and I called Pops and he said, hey, man, why you gonna do this on Christmas Day? That's when we supposed to rest. We've been doing this every year on Christmas Eve. Why you want to switch it up this year? Just do it on Christmas
Look
Christmas
at that.
Eve. Why you want to switch it up to Christmas Day, man? That's what we look forward to. Now you're gonna have your mama out of it. And he said that.
He
and
was so adamant.
another
Look at
room,
that.
and then all of a sudden I hear my mom in the background. What?
Look at how traditions
Christmas
change.
Day.
Look at
And
that.
So she runs to the phone. Why are we doing this on Christmas Day?
I will help.
Christmas tree.
I will cook.
Yes.
I will bring this. And every
Yes.
year she brings the best.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love it when mama comes.
Since everybody contributes. My in-laws, my mom,
Of
they all bring
course,
dishes
yeah.
and stuff, but we host it at our house, and it has not changed for a good while now. But it's no more cooking on Christmas Day. Sometimes I think you will get up and cook a little brunch or whatever. Well,
on Christmas Day?
Well, last year was different again because we had just lost Pops. And so my mom and my sister stayed. Mm-hmm. And so you got up and cooked.
I always make breakfast Christmas morning, always. And I don't make like a pendejo breakfast. I make like a whole pancake, sausage. I throw down like a brunch. I go all out.
But now
that's what you do on Christmas Day, breakfast.
one thing that has really changed is that, and probably because also Isaac was the last one. He was the baby. Now he's an adult. So in the last, I want to say 3 years now, that in the last 3 years, we've pretty much stopped opening gifts on Christmas Day.
It's all Christmas Eve now. Yes. Oh my God. And this year we're going to have games and they just get better and better and bigger and more wonderful.
Yes. So, my aunt came last year, again, she lost my uncle a couple of years
And I
ago.
think she liked Christmas Eve, right?
Is looking for, everybody's looks
Christmas Eve now, right?
Christmas
Look
Eve
at that. Isn't that amazing?
Christmas Day, they just rest.
Yeah. It's like the day after Christmas. It's like the day after Thanksgiving.
It really is.
Yeah, and I think it's just so nice when we get together here, and our house is the Christmas Eve house, and I'm just so happy throughout the years of knowing you and sharing our own separate traditions to finally have them merge.
Yes.
I think that is so beautiful, and you made me love Christmas again, because I don't know if you remember when you met me, I was just like, oh, I hate Christmas. Mm-hmm. It's not really my thing, Mm-hmm. But now I can't wait to decorate the house. We do lights. You just took care of me when it comes to like presents and just embracing that family time. But it's just not about gifting. It's the fact that we made it so much more special.
In Jesus Christ, our Savior.
Hallelujah.
That's right. But you're absolutely right.
They're the best. They're my second favorite holiday now.
It should be
Christmas.
Your favorite.
No, it's my second favorite.
It's your favorite.
No, sorry.
So that is what and then another part that we look forward to with Christmas Eve is generally every other year, one person handles the menu.
Are we going to have to go through this again?
Year, I am the chef for this year.
Oh my God.
My mother-in-law has been patiently waiting for what I'm
My mother
and
definitely changed on me. I used to be the star, the cook, the chef. Yes, for many years.
I never cooked. I would just.
I was the chef for many years. I would throw down.
And I remember one year.
My dad was like, "That food was so good, Daddy. Was that catered?"
Yeah. And I think it was the first year we were married. Actually married.
Yeah.
Where I said, "Hey, you know what, baby? I'm going to cook for Christmas Eve this year."
Oh my God. And you made fish, and that was it. Ever since that, he's taking the throne, which I'm very grateful for. Listen, I'm not a hater. I am very grateful that my husband cooks this wonderful food. But listen, they love his food more than mine. That's the problem. Stop it. Like nobody cares about my food no more.
Yes. You are a player hater.
Wow. I'm not a hater.
But it's
just jealous.
But it's very cool that we have this going on. In another part, my wife she didn't do it last year because, again, stuff happened last year. But she does a yearly, what she calls a cookie-thon, where she makes homemade, from scratch, different varieties of cookies, homemade.
And
cookies,
these are all from scratch. Like I don't even use the mixer,
chocolate.
the little mixer, the cake mixer.
Yeah.
I actually do everything by hand, and like I smushed them with my fingers and all that stuff. Of course, I'm wearing gloves, but
are you making coquito this year?
I am gonna be making coquito. It's just we haven't had time.
Yeah.
We haven't. It's crazy how busy it's been this year. Even when we go out to do an errand, it's like we don't get back till nighttime.
Yeah, it is. It has been very
like busy. It's just been very something every weekend we have, and like weekends are so short.
Well, let me tell you what it is this year. This is what I think it is.
What do you think?
We've been busy because we have taken each year as we've gotten older now, and I think it has a lot also to do that Isaac has grown, although we still incorporate him because he's a man child. He's a
He
man,
is.
but he's still a child.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I don't think
We
he
have
plans to
taken-
leave in the house. Oh, my God.
I don't think so either. But again,
Jesus.
I don't think most kids, they can't afford to leave
This
the house.
generation, yeah.
But they can't afford it. The rent is so high now, so and the economy's
It's
so bad.
crazy.
But we've taken more time for us when it comes to vacations. And they're not, when we first started dating and then we got married, we would take vacations, but they would be very short.
Yeah.
They would be about maybe a weekend. You know, we'll do a weekend here or there.
Like a
Very
Thursday
rare.
and Sunday type
Yeah,
thing.
very rarely would we do a full week. And I would say probably in the last 3 years, we've started taking more and more time, more and more time for us. And I do want to say this. A lot of people always say, "Oh my God, y'all are always on vacation. I want to get like
Always
you."
taking a cruise.
Let me tell you something, guys. My wife can sit here and confirm this. I am one of the cheapest people. I'm
my
not going to
God,
say
I
cheapest.
can't stand it.
Money saving people. I have an app.
I can't
for
stand it when you do it.
everything.
I can't stand it when you do it for gas. Like, I don't have time to sit there and save
I have an
pennies
app
for gas.
so I can get money back.
I'm the
for
type
gas.
of person that when I see a gas station, I just go to it. I don't have time for that.
My app say I'm only going to
Oh,
get
I can't
13
stand it.
cents. The one down the road, I'm going to get 25
No,
cents.
who cares
back
about the
per
13
gallon.
cents? Who cares?
So
And I'm like that. Or when we go shopping, well, maybe you get it cheaper at Walmart instead of Publix. I was like, listen, I'm going to Publix whether you like it or
I
not.
want to go about 2 different places or 3. That's how much I pinch.
Oh, you get
pennies
on my
when we do
nerves
things.
with that.
So I do that for our vacations too. Usually I'm the one booking our vacations. And so I don't just go, oh, hey, we got, let's go spend $4,000 on this cruise.
There's never 4,000.
No. I look for deals. I sign up for email deals. I also sign up for apps. And I also religiously watch TikTok to see what type of travel planner has a new deal going on. Credits, all that stuff. That's how I vacation. That's how we vacation. It ain't that I'm just throwing down all this money. No, I'm looking for a good deal. Now, when we get the deal, best believe it's going to be a deal. Like, I'm not, nothing against interior rooms or anything like that, but my family, we've did balcony rooms on cruises, and that's what we're used to. So I'm looking for a great deal for a balcony room. That's what we're going to do. So it looks like, oh, it's really extravagant. Look at me, got a balcony. Yeah, it's a nice room. It's a very extravagant room, but guess, you better believe I got it on a deal. You know what I'm saying? Plus, when I get on that cruise, I know we're going to do it again if we like it. So on the cruise ships, this is just an FYI, before the last, well, sometimes even on the last day.
Budget a deposit.
Budget a deposit. A $200. Make sure you have an extra $250 deposit to take with you, and make a deposit on a future cruise. I can let you know that they have great deals on the cruises where they'll give you, like this last cruise we did with Virgin. I'm just going to let y'all in on a little secret. We were gone for a week, and you may think that was a lot of money. No, it wasn't. When we took my mom and my sister on a Virgin cruise early this year, we made the declaration that we were going to go and put a deposit down. We did that. We put $250 down. Guess what? In return, we had up to 8 months to plan a cruise, so we would get a $600 onboard credit. If we didn't plan it within 8 months, then it would drop down to $400, which is still a lot, right? We planned it, of course, because we went again in November. Not only that, we also got 25% off on the cruise. Okay. So boom, put $250 down that goes towards the deposit, plus 25% off, plus $600 to use on the ship, right? Okay, cool. Well, guess what? There's a travel agent that we started following. She does strictly Virgin and Celebrity cruises, sometimes Royal. She had a deal. So because when you don't pay your cruise in full, you can switch it over to a travel agent. We booked that directly through the cruise, so we switched it over to her. She got us some additional percentage off, plus and it may seem small to y'all, but she gave us an extra $50 to use for. So we had $650 onboard
to just spend on anything,
plus 35% off the cruise, because we start off with 25. She gave us the extra 10%. So guess what? We paid damn near. I think we paid maybe about we paid about $800 to $900 for that cruise.
Yeah.
And in reality, you add the $600 credit, that's like $300 because we were scrambling on how to spend that money on the cruise.
Couldn't figure it out. Like, I remember the last day, I was like, "What do I do? Do I order some?" Look at me ordering mocktails and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I mean, even with us doing that,
went to buy a whole bunch of stuff. Sure, I'll take that.
Go shopping.
So something we don't do when we cruise. Yeah, let's go shopping.
Because we didn't do any excursions, we didn't see any that we liked, which would have went towards that. But that is just something I want to introduce to you guys. That's what we do. So if you do that, you can still book with the cruise line. If you don't pay it in full, find you a travel agent, see what deal they have, transfer that over. They will add to the deal that you got from booking directly with the cruise. They don't take it away. That's how we get our deals. We went on a celebrity cruise. My wife was like, "Oh, this cruise is going to suck." You know why? Because the travel agent that we deal with, she got us a balcony room for 4 nights.
I have no idea how we got
$700 total for both of us.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was, and to this day, it was the best cruise so far.
It was.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
You kind
Plus, we got $50 credit.
Yeah, I know we mentioned this on the last episode, but we were like, man, this is going to be like a cheap type of cruise. This is whack. It's like, I guess, like, remember we were just like, oh, well, we'll just need the time off. Okay, it is what it is.
Right.
Let's just do it.
Right. So that's what we're going to do for the Thanksgiving cruise with our family next year. We're going to book it directly.
Everybody recommends it. Yeah. Thanksgiving week, and then it's my mom's birthday that week.
Yes,
so it's
Mommy's birthday
perfect.
is like that Tuesday or Monday. No, it's Monday.
And we have a year to plan.
Yep. And we're going to go, that cruise is going to take us to St. Thomas,
Puerto Rico,
and I forgot the other place, but we're going to be going a full week.
Yeah.
And this is going to be different for us because we haven't, as a family, cruised on Thanksgiving. So that won't be traditional, but we just, as we're still mourning, passing of loved ones, it like I said, it was a little draining. And especially being at my mom's house, and doing that, and there's one person missing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a little draining. So we wanted to do
tough.
something a little different, even Christmas Eve. I know it's going to be a little difficult. It was difficult last year. It's going to be difficult, and that's all a part of the mourning process. And when you mourn someone, there's no time limit on that. You do the best you can and ask God to help you. So, but we have a great time together. Our family is together.
Oh, that's the best part about it, that our families together.
Yes.
Are together. They're just, it's wonderful. It's such a blessing.
And my wife is so creative. This year she's doing the white elephant.
I'm so excited.
One year she had
everybody's
karaoke.
gonna walk out of here with a gift.
Yes.
And that's the best part about it. So I'm so excited about it. I had to postpone my cookies this year, for Christmas time.
So it'll be a couple of weeks after Christmas.
Yes, I have to postpone it.
And
again, it's just been
best
crazy.
Cookies ever. You don't need anything ever.
That
means
cookie. A lot to me, baby.
So, but thank you so much for asking that question, Kansas. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And keep them coming, please. Ask anything you want. There's no right, there's no wrong type of questions. Just send it.
Yeah, please send it to us.
We appreciate the love and support, everything.
Yes. So,
what a great episode. What a great topic.
That really was. It really was. Like one topic, and that dominated. When we sat down, we were like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And then I saw the fan mail, and I was like, okay, we can talk about this. I was going to talk about a situation that I saw, but we'll save that for next time. I don't know if you had a chance to see it on social media. It was about this rapper Remy Ma and Papoose, her husband, what they've been going through. I don't know if you had a chance to look at Shade Room.
What's going on?
Well, we'll talk about it the next time we're together. It's an interesting thing that's been going on. So we'll use that as a topic of discussion next year and get your real thoughts.
Did you say next year?
What?
Wow. So you don't want me to record till January?
No, I'm sorry.
Did you guys hear that?
I was looking at Christmas. I'm looking at the calendar right now. What day is Christmas on?
It falls on a silly Wednesday this year, which sucks.
So we record the day after Christmas. If we record that. If we record that day, we may record earlier.
Well, Christmas Day is a day of rest.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We thank you so much for joining us today. Again, as my wife said, please send in the fan mails.
Yes. And, this episode may help anyone there that is kind of like skeptical, being in a multiracial relationship. It's like, man, I don't know if my two families will ever, celebrate or combine the holidays together. Just be patient. Let God do its work. And you see what happened. Now we're just a big family full of love and support. And I'm so blessed about that. So just be patient and let God do his work, and everything falls together. What would you say about that?
I am in 100% agreement with you. And no one can, there's no 2 Thanksgivings, there's no 2 Christmas Eves and Christmas Day. Everything, hey, we know that we're going up. Thanksgiving is going to be hosted at either my house, my aunt's house, and, my mom's house. Like I said, next year's going to be non-traditional again, and then Christmas Eve, we know it's going to be here.
It's going to be here, yeah.
And everybody comes together.
Yeah,
so.
2 different cultures makes the best.
Absolutely.
So combine them and have the funnest of it. Just live it up.
And it's all about love.
Yeah, it's all about love at the end of the day.
Everybody loves.
I'm so blessed. We're so blessed.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. This has been
We out of here.
Conversations with
Ronnie Keith
and Edie.
Iris.
Oh my God.
Stop.